Hi, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to discuss adaptive physical education, what it is, and what the requirements for all students are. We'll also talk about how a student might qualify for APE, what roles and responsibilities we as APE educators have, and what rights and protections students with individualized education plans and their parents have. The California Department of Education defines physical education as a way for students to learn the skills to participate in a variety of sports and perform a variety of physical activities. It provides students with the knowledge of the benefits of physical activity and its relationship to health, and how they can get involved in being active and maintaining that as a lifestyle. Physical education is meant to provide experiences based on the developmental levels of the students. The Adaptive Physical Education National Standards website defines adaptive physical education as that which has been adapted or modified so that it is as appropriate for the person with a disability as it is for a person without a disability. The general PE goals I just stated will be the same for most students regardless of existing disabilities. The process of achieving those goals can change significantly depending on the developmental needs of each particular student. According to the American College of Sports Medicine and the American Heart Association exercise guidelines, all children and adolescents ages 6 through 17 should participate in moderate to vigorous exercise for a minimum of 60 minutes a day, 3 days a week. They should also perform muscle and bone strengthening activities 3 days a week. The California Department of Education states that students in grades 1 through 6 must be provided with PE instruction with an emphasis upon the physical activities that may be conducive to health and vigor of body and mind for a total of no less than 200 minutes every 10 school days, excluding recess and lunch periods. Grades 7 through 12 are to receive no less than 400 minutes of PE instruction for every 10 school days. This applies to all children with disabilities because, as stated in the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, all kids with special needs will be given equal opportunity to participate in the same activities as their non-disabled peers. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act considers students eligible for special education, including physical education, if they are identified as having one of the 14 disabilities named in the law. Qualification criteria does vary by state, however, and even by school district. To qualify for special education services, which includes APE, IDEA mandates the submission of a referral and parent consent for evaluation. Once parental consent is received by the school district, an individualized education plan will be created for the student based on a variety of assessments. Some states and school districts elect to establish qualifying criteria of APE services. In those districts, the common criteria guidelines is a score of 1.5 standard deviations below the mean or below the 7th percentile on a standardized motor test, or an inability to be independently safe or successful in the general PE environment due to physical, cognitive, or emotional needs. Once a student has an IEP, the school will either provide appropriate accommodations for the student to be able to participate in the school's standard PE program, or the student may receive an individualized PE plan facilitated by a qualified professional to meet the child's needs. The duties of an APE educator are varied. At minimum, we should possess the appropriate qualifications and credentials to work with students in special education. We must be familiar with existing legislation, national standards, applicable guidelines, and district policies. An APE educator should maintain awareness of new research surfacing related to special education so that we may continue to use the best methods available to help our students achieve their individual goals. An adapted PE teacher should be prepared to use assessment tools, make appropriate adjustments to the environment according to each student's needs, collaborate with parents and faculty to continue to alter individualized education plans to best serve the students. Last but not least, as educators, we should aim to provide kids with a positive experience of learning through demonstration and feedback, rich with opportunities to develop social and personal skills. Just like all students, those with IEPs have basic rights when it comes to school discipline, but the IDEA also offers additional protections to such students. If a child is removed from school due to misbehaving, they're entitled to receiving the same services they are used to getting through their IEP wherever they are after 10 days of being out of school. This is considered a change in placement. If this happens, the school should immediately contact a parent and explain what your options are. The change in placement can also happen if a child is being asked to leave school grounds frequently, even if only for a day at a time, as this can still interfere with their ability to receive services as part of their individualized education plans. A change in placement calls for manifestation determination, a process where the IEP team must determine whether the misbehavior happened as a result of the child's disability or not. If it did happen due to a disability, additional protections will apply, and the IEP team must develop a behavior intervention plan to minimize this behavior or make appropriate adjustments to an existing plan. If the misbehavior was caused by some aspect of the program not being followed as designed, for example, if the student's weekly counseling services kept getting rescheduled, then the school must immediately address this. If the misbehavior was not caused by the IEP or the student's disability, then the student must be treated like any other, which could mean that they continue to be suspended. But the services they are entitled to must still follow them. There are also protections for kids with IEPs that prevent adults from restraining or secluding them for any reason, such as locking them in a room alone, which would interfere with their right to learn and participate in their daily activities. If for any reason a parent disagrees with the disciplinary action taken by the school, they have the right to file an appeal. Generally speaking, parents play important roles in their children's individualized education plans, development, and maintenance. Since parents know their kids best, they work closely with the rest of the IEP team to develop or change existing strategies to best suit their child's needs, as well as set annual goals. The school should not be able to make any major decisions about your child without your okay as a parent. This concludes the video. I hope you were able to find answers to at least some of the questions you may have had at the start of the video about adaptive physical education and qualifying for it. If you are interested in taking a closer look at the references from this video, feel free to look in the description. And thank you for watching.